Greetings. I wanted to highlight something in MapTool that I discovered today that's likely been there for a long, long time, but I don't use it that often and may have missed it when it was added to the feature set. There used to be Token Tool, and you used to be able to create tokens and add them to your resource library. But I discovered that you can now just take transparent PNGs and add them to your resource library just straight up. So first, let's jump over to PNGs here. So I've got a directory called vehicles. I'm going to show you how I made these after I show you how to import them, just in case you're interested. So here's MapTool, good old MapTool. I don't know why MapTool isn't on more lists of best virtual tabletops, because I mean, it's Java, so you have to have that. But it's all compiled now, and it's on Mac and PC. I mean, it's pretty good. What I've got here is a gigantic map that I have stitched together from a bunch of maps I bought on RPG Drive-Thru. So you can actually get these map sets for virtual tabletops. They come as PNGs. You stitch them together. And in this case, what we've got is I've created a path that's going to be the escape route for my players from a demon devil war, taking some nods from Descent into Avernus. In any event, though, that's not why we're here. I want to show you how I discovered that you can add these tokens. So let's go over here, and you go to File, and Add Resource to Library. Comes up here, Local Directory. So I am going to go to my local directory, Yalorad, my campaign, and then Maps, Cities and Places, Avernus, Hell, and Vehicles. So that's the directory that has all of my PNGs in it. If we jump over here they are. And open. That's all you need to do, install. And what it's doing right now is it has created a folder with the final folder name, right? The final directory name that I went to. If I bet if I took a higher level one, it would bring in all of them with the structure, but I just brought in the very final one. And I go to vehicles, and here's all the vehicles I just showed you with transparent background. So in here, I've got this one here, War Machine Tormentor. Okay, it's already set to, I've got it set to object, so that's great. I pull this in. So now this is bigger than I want, like it's 1,000,000 feet by 1,000,000 feet. So let's just bring that in. And the reason it was so big is I scaled it up in paint.net because I actually was starting with fairly low res source. But what I've got here, 10, 20, yep, so 20 feet by 10, 20, 30 feet, yep. So that's, I had a hand-drawn one that I was using before, but now I can use this. And you can see here, I've got, I just put some sort of basic grid stuff over top of this, relatively low res object, and that will allow me to throw tokens on. So I'll just jump up here to Devon Knight's tokens are awesome. So characters and some sort of random character, drag them in, and of course it's going to be called Temp. My name is Temp the NPC, and okay. And then the first thing I always have to do, oh, this one's already set to top down. Okay, perfect. Snap to grid, yes. Visible layers, yes. Sometimes I do turn off snap to grid because, see what's happening here? I mean, my object is wonderful, but I've got it sort of set up so that it's not super, aligned, because I didn't do any measurements. I just sort of threw it together. But since we're here, let's just grab this object and let's just scale it up a bit, because I bet that I can essentially, if I line that up there and 10, I'm going to make that 15 foot wide on the 15-foot wide on the bridge here. And then that should give me, yeah, see, these are approximately 5. So that's, you know what, that's going to be perfect. So I've got my one character there. Go back to the token layer. And let's say we've got another character. I'm going to stop naming them temp. This will be fine. And then this person's there. And one more, because why not? Okay, I'm going to stop bringing, you know, I should really get rid of my second. Oh, here's the reason I jumped in earlier. So at this point, I've shown you how to import the tokens, which was my main point. So you can like just go and watch something else, like how there's no graphics cards available or something. But the reason I jumped in here before was you need to go to top down so that the actual token moves rather than that silly yellow arrow. And so I've got this set up now. So my characters can essentially be here, and then they can go down these gangways. And that, you know what, that's close enough. For my tabletop, I do not need stuff to be pixel perfect. And this is all I really needed for my game coming up tomorrow. Hopefully my players don't find this video before the game tomorrow. Just look at the upload time and you'll know when that was. So if I jump here, I mean, just look at this. Look at the scale. Look at the scale. It's going to be so good. I can't wait. I can't wait. So tonight I'm populating with demons and devils and vehicles because there are going to be lots of vehicles coming in from these side roads as my players are zipping along. Now, interestingly, okay, so here's a fun thing. I'm discovering this just now. I don't think I can group objects and tokens. And I am correct, the tokens are still here. So I might figure that out before the game starts, but you know, it is what it is. I can always do one at a time. Now I could bring in, you know, I could bring in the war machine as a token. I think I'm going to do that, but I'm not going to subject you to that. Now, I promised you that I would show you how I created these tokens. So here's phase 2 or part 2 of the video. So basically I found, you know, just on the internet, I found Avernus tokens and Avernus tokens vehicles. And great, right? I mean, these are lovely, but they're completely not usable. Here's Hellfire Engine. And so what I did was I took Hellfire Engine, and you can see it right here, basically right here. So I took Hellfire Engine and made this out of it. And the way I did that was just basically grabbed it and created a new image. And I believe, it was a while ago now, using paint.net, I can just do this, right? So I ended up doing this a lot. And then I also use the eraser tool. Here, I'll make it giant. So I use the eraser tool, right? So you use the eraser tool to get close. And the reality is you don't have to be pixel perfect. And so if I look in here, you can see I got pretty good, you know, it's not bad at all. And this is a combination of eraser tool and selections I was showing you. To take this to get to this. So it was worth it too, because now I can take this entire folder like I showed you and bring it in as a bunch of tokens. And I mean, if I can do it for vehicles, I can do it for characters. I can do it for objects. I'm just super happy with the MapTool. I don't know why MapTool isn't on every top 10 virtual tabletop list. Yeah, was that it? I think that's it. That's the entire thing. And then my players are going to have to escape from the demons who are going to be chasing them. Hopefully they save the person I want them to save, because otherwise they're going to have a really hard time figuring out the end game of the campaign, but we shall see. So that is it. You can bring in entire folders, have them as resources in your resource library, and those folders can be transparent PNGs, and you are all set. That's it for now. I'm Brad, and this is MapTool.